On this episode, we head to Salt Lake City, Utah and visit Kindig It Design, and we attend the 3-day workshop put on by Baileigh Industrial. I'm going to introduce you to some of the most prominent metal shapers in the country. Let's go. Landed in Salt Lake, easy flight from SoCal. We're gonna get our rental car and head over to Kindig shop. Welcome to Salt Lake City, Utah. About 49% of the population in Salt Lake identifies as Latter-day Saints, making it the 5th minority LDS county in Utah. The LDS Church counts anyone who's been baptized as a member, even if they are excommunicated or asked to have their names removed. Mixed in among the beautiful and exquisite temples of the LDS Church lies the Capitol building on the hilltop. Completed in 1916, many of the building's details rely on the Corinthian style, in which formality, order, proportion, and line are essential design elements. But just outside city limits, a different type of designer has made a well-known name for himself. This is Kindig It Design, home of the Kindig CF1 Corvette.
Thank you very much. This is quite an honor to have you guys here. We've had great partners with Bailey's for many years, and this is the first time we've had the opportunity to do this training course here. So I hope you guys, first and foremost, stay safe, but really have a good time and leave here being bitchin'.
After a great introduction and welcome speech from Dave Kindig himself, the 45 students jump right in to lectures and demonstrations. The first lecture was from Chris Rush, the inventor of the Baileigh Power Hammer and PH-19. Chris gives a great demo on how to quickly fabricate a hood scoop out of a piece of aluminum sheet metal. Using the Power Hammer English wheel and sandbag, he makes light work easy and efficient. All right, we are here with my good buddy Pete from Dexterous Engineering, hometown Salt Lake guy. This is his stomping grounds.
It's not my hometown.
Well, it's my
home.
It's his home, yeah. His shop is just right down the street. We had a chance to tour that, which was super cool and impressive, and he's got a lot of Baileigh equipment in there. He also spent some time here at Kindig's place. He worked here and was part of the television show and all that. Man, thank you for the opportunity to learn some new information from you. What do you get out of these classes? So we as students, we get to go home with a lot of new knowledge. What do you feel you leave here with?
For me, it's just fulfilling of just watching everybody progress throughout the weekend, of like when they first step up to the hammer and you can just see in their eyes just the fear that they have of walking up to this thing, this monstrous thing is just smashing down right around their fingertips. And I'm sitting there like telling them like, get up on it, like don't be afraid of it. And it's humbling and fun to watch them just progress throughout the weekend. And just...
So who was the first guy that got you into metal shaping specifically, that like you saw a dude doing it and you're like, I want to do that?
3 people come to mind when I think of like the 3 guys that got me into metal shaping and just fabrication in general. You got Indian Larry, Jesse James, and Chip. And all 3 stem from different genres, if you will. I mean, Jesse and Larry are kind of in the same realm as each other.
Yeah.
Jesse's in his own state
Yeah.
as he is type of thing. But Indian Larry, I would say, just his persona, his style of everything mechanically working on a bike together as one, but exposed for you to see it. And just the art of turning a flat piece of metal into a gas tank and making it your own and creating something from nothing. That's what got me into it, just because I didn't grow up like rich or anything like that, so I had to make do with what I had. And so if I wanted something, I had to learn how to do it and make it myself.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the mentality that he had as well. And so that's what really got me into it, was just watching Indian Larry and then watching Chip with all of his crazy designs and overhauling and all that stuff. That's awesome.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you and learning some tricks from you. And it's been a great weekend.
Yeah, love having you guys out here.
You guys check him out. Yeah, Dexterous Engineering on Instagram. Find him on social media platforms. And also, in the future, we want to have you come out and do a little YouTube on our channel too. So you'll be seeing more of Pete soon. As Pete from Dexterous Engineering wraps up his demo on the MH19 from Baileigh, we call it a night and all the students head home to get some rest. The second day begins back at Dave Kindig's shop with demonstrations from Carl Fisher of the YouTube channel Make It Custom. Also, Noah Norwood, the Hot Rod Kid, gives a quick demonstration on tipping a flange. And we also hear from Jared Clausen, who does beautiful metal artwork on the Baileigh bead roller. All right, so we are here with the one and only Mike Wagner, Cornfield Customs, metal shaper, hot rod builder, Bonneville race car builder, and
bullshitter.
driver.
You forgot bullshitter.
Look at a big resume.
Yeah.
So, man, this is our first course. How many have you done with Baileigh?
I don't know how many I've done, but I've been doing classes with Baileigh for about a decade, so a lot.
So you've probably taught well over 100 people at this point.
Yeah, and then I do classes on my own, so even those people, and then private classes.
What's your go-to when you come to a class on a panel that you want to make? Do you have, at this point, are you making the same panel, teaching students the same methods on the same panel, or are you always bringing something different to show?
So it's always the same methods, but on a different panel. So what I do is in between the classes, I look at something that I've made, that I've posted on social media, and I look at what's had the best response. Like that's incredible or whatever, and just people have really enjoyed, and I try to work that into my hour. And on this one, I did those one-piece Model A wheel wells on YouTube, and everybody was blown away that I could shrink that much. Yeah. So I just sectioned it down into a
That was incredible watching
manageable part for an hour.
The shape that you got out of that panel and the size of it, and the time frame. You actually finished before your allotted time, which was cool. I think you did that panel in 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously the students come, myself included. We get to work with you guys, and we make a panel and take it home. At this point, what do you get from these classes when you go home? Have you thought about that at all?
No, I really don't. I don't think about it. Like mainly it's the networking aspect and being able to grow this industry. Like a lot of these guys, like classes in the past of like, hey, I took your class at Gas Monkey or at SEMA. So like I'm growing relationships, personal and working relationships. So that's mainly what I get out of it. And you know, getting to work with people like Bobby Walden and those guys, you know, I get their experience. And each time I learn something new. If I can take one little snippet of information, and it doesn't even have to be Bobby, it could be a completely green person, different perspective. Yeah. You know, just, I always take something away from the class, learn a new skill.
Yeah. I've heard a guy say, learn something from anybody and everybody.
Yep. And so, it's not always necessarily a positive thing. You see somebody with a shitty attitude, and you're like, well, I learned that I don't want to be like that. You know, there's always something to learn.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great advice.
Well, that's cool, Mike. Thank you. We
Yeah, no
appreciate
problem,
it.
man.
It's been a blast. It's always
Yeah.
fun hanging out with you.
Oh yeah.
Bonneville, metal shaping classes. Mike's been at our shop helping us with panels. And
Yeah,
so
and I'll
you
be
can-
back soon, hopefully.
Yeah, you'll be back soon for, you know, maybe a Bonneville car.
Yeah.
So check him out. He's got a great YouTube channel that's incredibly educational. It's Cornfield Customs on YouTube. And then, of course, on all platforms, it's Cornfield as well.
Yep.
Instagram, all the social media. All right, check him out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
We're back at it.
Yep.
What a great experience to get one-on-one training from a guy like Mike Wagner, master heavy shrinking and forming on the Baileigh Power Hammer.
So we are here with the one and only legendary Bobby Walden, hot rod builder and metal shaper, really pioneer, I think, in the hot rod world. He started doing this in 84.
84, yeah.
It's incredible. Almost 40 years. I know it sounds a little corny, but you've touched a lot of lives of metal shapers over the years and doing these classes. How many have you done with Baileigh?
With Baileigh, I've done 3.
Okay.
We've had 3 classes with Baileigh. I've done several series with Baileigh. We did a comparison where we did like I call it the Pepsi Challenge. You know, we compared the Yoder and the Pull Max and the older equipment to the new Baileigh equipment.
Yeah.
And they were really gracious that they let me be honest so I could say pros and cons of their machines and the pros and cons of the old machines that everyone hears about, the Yoders and the Pull Maxes and the Chicago pneumatic planishing hammers and stuff.
Kind of on a personal note, so many guys take home experience from these courses. After doing 3 of these Baileigh classes, what do you leave here with? Like what kind of feeling or satisfaction do you get from teaching the next generation of this stuff? Is it...
Well, when I got started back in 80, 83, 84, there were only maybe 10 guys in the country that were still doing metal shaping. I mean, it was dying fast. You know, there was no internet, there were no schools, there was no new equipment. Everything was old.
Yeah.
And the only information we had was through the hot rod magazines and stuff, how-to articles. If you can get guys going in the right direction, then the chances of success are much greater.
Yeah.
And if you're having success, then it's fun and you want to keep going.
For sure.
If it gets fucked up, you just want to stop and I'm going to go lay bricks or whatever, you know.
So you've been in every realm of it. You were a 25-year-old student, and now 40 years later, you're the master instructor. So where are you going next?
Well, I'm 63,
Yeah.
and if I've got another 20, 25 years, I just want to keep making my panels,
Yeah.
building some projects, teaching everyone I can that's interested,
Yeah.
and help, you know, move it along.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you much.
Check him out, Bobby Walden, Walden Speed Shop. He makes incredible panels for roof inserts and door skins, but also he has a whole line of hot rod parts, his brakes, his hot rod tie rod ends, great things online. Bobby Walden, is it waldenspeedshop.com?
WaldenSpeedShop.com, yeah.
And Instagram, and
It's
of course
Walden Speed
YouTube.
Shop.
And your YouTube seminars and demos that are up there are so helpful. I've watched every single one of them.
Oh, thank you.
And some of the work on the Model A's and the chassis and stuff like that is, you know, big inspiration for me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that concludes our time here at Kindig Shop for the Baileigh Industries 2024 Metal Shaping Seminar. It was a lot of fun. It went by fast. I think we're all a little bit tired. Hands probably hurt a little bit. We're headed home, so what did you guys think?
Oh, we had a great time, learned a lot, got to meet a lot of good people, and just enjoyed the time that we had here.
Yeah, not to mention like all the different ways and styles of like shrinking and stretching and all that stuff, and that was a lot of fun.
And thanks for having us, Bailey's, and we hope to do one at our shop maybe next year. So that's it for the Mackey's crew. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Laters.
Hey, join us next week as we're back on the Project Black Ice 59 El Camino. We've shot this thing in high build black primer, and we're gonna give you a demonstration on how to properly block sand with 150 grit and acrylic blocks. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. What's up, everybody? Brian from Mackey's Hot Rod Shop with our YouTube channel, Mackey and Machine. We wanted to say thank you guys for subscribing. The numbers are growing way faster than we ever expected. So a quick overview, we're giving away a box of merchandise for every new 1,000 subscribers. We bundle everybody together, we pick one number, and we send out all this merchandise straight to your door. It's just a way to say thank you, so we really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, do so now, because we're continuing our content in a hot rod shop, bicycles, motorcycles, planes, trains, boats, all of it here on Mackey and Machine. We've got a ton of new content for you guys. The best part of all, real quick, is a 1940 Ford giveaway as soon as we hit 50,000 subscribers. What do you have to do? Hit the subscribe button. That's it. We keep track of everything else. Thank you again. We'll see you on the next one.